these bad boys
You know
right
what's
here.
crazy? My calf muscles. Like, look at that. And it's because I walk. So I walk on average 20,000 steps a day.
20,000.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I wonder how many steps you take.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Depends on what job I'm
I want to
doing.
know how many I take because I walk around the fucking house.
Pacing.
Clean. No, not pacing. I'm cleaning the house.
Right, yeah, that's what I said.
And then I go outside and I walk
We
around.
pace some more.
Check out my flowers in my vegetable garden, which is growing fabulously. Except I didn't get onions this year, which was sad.
You know what's really dumb? I decided to stop smoking weed. Now I got 4 weed plants growing. It's like, well, I can't. I don't want to kill them.
They're really beautiful plants.
They are really
So
beautiful.
it's
Honestly,
just
so
admire them.
right now, I think the reason weed is giving me so much anxiety is because of all the interpersonal
What
shit
you're
I got
going
going
through.
on.
Yes, yes.
And so I think I want weed, and I know like I was using weed as a way to kind of just accept certain aspects of my life, you know, instead just, I was using it to cope instead of doing what I need to do. And so I think I want it to be more recreational, but I want to give it a little bit of time. I want to get it out of my system and kind of just see where my head is at. I want to be able to not think about, like, I want to be able to go like a week without going, man, I want to get high, you know?
Yeah.
So like, because
still do it for fun, but not feel like you need it.
exactly.
That's what I'm working towards for sharesies because one, my lungs need a fucking break.
Yeah, that
From
too.
This and from weed, but like nicotine's going first before the weed because it seems to make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like because nicotine's harder to kick,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's
So
like
I mean,
heroin.
like,
It'd be nice to have a
because
small crutch while you try to kick it.
yeah,
It's not like heroin. I didn't mean that like this. It's like as addictive as heroin. The withdrawal is not the same. Does that make sense?
well, I don't necessarily believe that either because people
I
will do
saw it
heroin
somewhere.
once, and then it's like they're fiending for it again, type shit.
Who the
I mean, I guess cigarettes do the same shit though.
where the fuck?
I've
did you
never
see
smoked
that?
cigarettes. I don't.
Don't.
I'm never going to. No, because I've seen how nobody that smokes cigarettes goes, I'm so glad I started smoking cigarettes. Everybody's like, oh, I wish I never started. So I'm not gonna do that.
It sucks to try to quit. Like she's saying,
The
though,
only
like,
nicotine I ever have gotten is from blunts. You know.
Oh yeah.
And it's not, I don't smoke blunts regularly enough to become addicted to that nicotine.
Yeah.
So I've never really dealt with that. The worst withdrawals I've ever dealt with are probably, honestly, caffeine.
Yeah.
Just the caffeine headaches are insane.
I don't. Maybe that's what I. Maybe that's why I had a headache yesterday. I skipped. So I get my cup of coffee that I bring to work, and then I fill it up once throughout the day.
With like the coffee in the break
Once it gets
room?
halfway down, I top it off, and that's all my caffeine for the day.
Okay.
Well, I didn't do that, and I was like, I'm just gonna try to skip out on this because I have the cocoa espresso.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to stop having cocoa every fucking day. That's probably a big reason why I'm gaining weight. Because all of a sudden I started having cocoa every fucking day.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna stop doing that. And then cutting that extra caffeine out, it's not gonna be bad either. But then I got a headache later, and I thought it was allergies. It's probably that.
I drink caffeine every day. I'm not ready to give up caffeine yet. And as far as like my diet and everything goes, like it's not affecting my diet in a negative way. So I'm not too worried about that right now. But, you know, so slowly but surely, like I want to be not dependent on caffeine.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, you know, maybe a cup of coffee once a week, you know, but I think people with ADHD, you know, caffeine hits us differently.
Yeah.
So like it's almost like, am I better with it or am I better without it, you know? So it's like, I don't know. I definitely feel like I have, the way I describe it, like my brain fog, I feel like I have too much goo on my brain. You know how you have brain goo?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I feel like I just need to scrape off some of my brain goo.
Yeah.
Like that's how I describe like my ADHD. It's like it's hard for me to think. There's too much goo on my brain.
Yes. So, cocaberks.org, COCABERKS.org. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Fuck, where is this? Nicotine is just as addictive as heroin. That's what I meant.
Okay.
So yeah, trying to quit it is
Yeah,
hard.
trying to quit it.
But the symptoms
But the
are not
withdrawals
at
and
all the
symptoms
same.
are not at all the same, but they're just as addictive. So kids and
I
people who
wonder
think about wanting to do nicotine.
if it might be easier for you guys to quit nicotine if you had like were able to go to a sauna for a couple of weeks while trying to quit. So when you're sweating it out.
My plan is to take a whole week of work off this summer and go cold turkey.
I wanted to go to rehab, but that's expensive. I
plan-
can't afford it.
America.
America, yay!
I plan on like going to the beach every day or something.
Something that
Something
will
cheap
be
but that I
peaceful.
can do every day. To keep me from. Although drives are the hardest part.
Maybe
no,
what
I
if like you plan like a week-long camping trip?
Camping trips are bad too. Camping.
Then you're sitting
And
there.
see, like honestly, I realized I was using
Video
weed
games would
when I
probably
was
be a good
bored.
thing,
It's like, okay, let
actually.
me smoke some weed, and then I was like, okay, now I'm gonna sit on my phone for an hour. It's like I really should be editing this video, but now I'm
Yeah.
high and I don't want to do anything, And then it's like it wears off. It's like I want to smoke again.
Yeah.
Like so, I get it.
A video game that takes constant two hands is the best way to not smoke for me.
I don't know, sometimes I need to
I
smoke
lost my
to be
Elgato.
motivated to go. Does that make sense?
What would you say?
Like I need to smoke weed in order to get my chores done.
No, I get that. Like, but I realized that too. Like, that I was using it to help me do things, but then I was also letting it make me be lazy. So that's why that was another reason. It was the anxiety,
what
and
you're
then I was
saying.
realizing that I was using it to be lazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to stop for a bit
Yeah.
because I want to be a responsible weed smoker.
Yeah.
So by being responsible, I need to acknowledge when it's not helping me.